Hi there, Gemini. Welcome to your month ahead Tarotscope for December 2015. This reading is for you if your sun, moon, or rising signs are in the sign of Gemini. So I'm going to go ahead and start shuffling here. Now the purpose of my shuffle is to allow the appropriate cards for you, Gemini, to come up to the top of my deck. I don't know just intuitively when this has happened. Sometimes I see something, hear something, sometimes I just know. I've already, of course, extensively shuffled to mix all the cards around and shake off any energy from the last reading. I did. So, just shuffling here. All right. So the first card we're going to talk about is how you're feeling heading into this month, how you're feeling, Gemini, heading into the month of December. And we have the Two of Swords. I feel like this is a big time of decisions. This is the end of a year. This is the last month of 2015. And I feel like a lot of you have embarked on education or a new job or some sort of new beginning since September. For many of you, I feel it was an education, whether it was a university or training program, a school of some sort. And now we're drawing to the end of that semester, if you will, of this first chunk of this new adventure. And for you, it's a real big time of decisions. What do I do the next chapter? What happens next? And there's this real push and pull with yourself because I think part of you is stressed out by having to look into the future, by having to plan these things, by having to make definitive decisions. So sometimes you rather wear this blindfold and not see it all. And sometimes it just feels so heavy, like the weight of these swords that this woman is holding. Sometimes it feels just so heavy to have to make these decisions that you rather just turn the other cheek, that you rather look the other way. So Gemini, I really urge you to take that blindfold off and be a conscious participant of creating your reality. I think for a lot of you, you're kind of reestablishing your identity right now. You're really moving into a frame of mind where you're ready to step more into your power. I'm really drawn to this lady's yellow shoes here. Yellow, of course, is the color of the solar plexus. That's our power center. And the funny thing about this card is that this lady, yes, she's blindfolded, and yes, she's holding these heavy swords, but if she really wanted to, she could stand up. She could use those yellow feet of power to stand up, drop the swords, rip off the blindfold, and keep walking along on her journey. But she's choosing to sit there. And she's choosing to think and to contemplate. And it's not even contemplation, it's a nervous back and forth between this and that. And for you, I think sometimes it's about what kind of person do I want to be? Do I want to be this or do I want to be that? And going back and forth between those thoughts. And once you've made a decision, I feel like there's a little bit of a, oh, did I make the right decision? So right now you're feeling kind of stuck, but I think it's because there's a lot going on around you. And sometimes it just feels safer to stay still. Card number 2 is your general forecast for the month ahead. So your general forecast for the month of December. We have the 10 of Swords. I feel like this month is going to be busy and intense. If you are in that schooling program that we were talking about before, this is your exam period. It's going to be a lot. And I think you're going to feel like this man by the end of it with all these swords stuck in his back. The great thing about this card is that, yes, it is about hitting rock bottom, When we hit rock bottom, the only direction we can go on is up. There's the sun on the horizon here. The sun is shining through. And this man will raise his head and say, yes, I do have 10 swords in my back. But eventually he will make the same decision that this lady will make too, which is to stand up and to throw these swords away. This man will take the swords out of his back and he'll keep walking towards that sun on the horizon. He'll go up. So I think for you, this month is going to be a harder month. It is going to be a bit rocky. It is going to be a bit stressful. It's all about how you respond to that stress. It's all about making that conscious decision to stand up and take those swords out of your back. I feel like these swords for you, Gemini, are almost self-inflicted. Like, yes, there will be some stress that comes from the outside environment this month. However, it's your reactions that determine whether you stick these swords in your back or not. It's one thing to have an experience, and that could be the first sword. But your mind going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, that's the second sword. And then your mind being like, oh, I'm such a horrible person for not being able to deal with this. Well, that's the third sword. And you can see where I'm going with this. So be aware of how many swords you allow to get stuck in your back. And be aware of how many swords you're sticking in your back. You have the power to determine how many of those swords stay there for good. And you have the power to determine if you're just going to get up and walk away. We have 2 swords cards in a row, and I think about what needs to be cut out when I see these many swords. And I think for you, it's really your thought patterns and things that you're saying in your mind to yourself. And of course, the things that you say in your mind, you're going to see in your reality around you. So be aware of what you're creating for yourself. Card number 3 is your upcoming challenges. And we have the 3 of Wands. I feel like this is kind of going back to that sense of creating a new identity for oneself. I really see you as this figure standing strong, and you're holding onto this wand and you're like, this is who I am. And we have more of this yellow color, and I love how every card, first we have the yellow shoes, a little bit of the yellow moon here, and then it's growing to the sun on the horizon. And now we have a card that is fully bright and yellow. So your power is going to grow through the month. And your challenge really this month is to stand in that power. To be confident in who you are and the direction that you're heading in. I really see this man on this card as about to embark on a new adventure. He's about to embark on a new part of himself. And I feel like for you, after you're kind of finishing whatever program you're in right now, or maybe it's a job and you have a few weeks off work, but there will be a rest period, and I feel like that will also kind of get your mind ticking. You won't really know what to do with yourself. And I think that'll be a little bit challenging for you. You'll have all this extra energy and you won't really know where to send it. So find an exercise. Maybe it's a physical exercise. Maybe it's an artistic exercise. Something that speaks to you, that helps you vent that excess energy. And also an activity that helps you get in touch with you and who you are. As you kind of really look at yourself in this way this month. So this is coming in the upcoming challenges because it will be a challenge for you to do this, to stand in your power, to say this is who I am, these are the decisions that I make, and to be confident about the person that you're blooming into. But we have this growing sense of yellow through these cards, so it's coming. You're learning to stand in your power. And I'd say by the end of this month, you'll have really learnt it. You'll feel ready to stand in those yellow shoes that you started off with. So card number 4 is your good fortune, blessings, and abundance. So this is all the beautiful things coming your way in the month of December. And we have the Queen of Wands. I love this because, of course, the Queen is wearing a yellow dress here. I feel like there will be a lady in your world, in your life, this month that will really serve as an inspiration for you. You'll see her and you'll think, wow, she can do these things. She learned how to stand in her power. I can too. And she'll be somebody who's creative, who's hardworking, who's inspirational. And I almost see you as the cat here. Kind of just, it's somebody that you really worship. And I don't mean that in a put her on a pedestal kind of way. Just somebody you really look up to. Somebody who really inspires you. Somebody that you really love. And it could be relationship in a romantic sense, but also in a platonic sense, or maybe they're even a family member. But there is some sort of real deep connection, passionate connection to this person. And you really look up to her. I see her holding the sunflower here, and she's showing you, look, this flower can bloom, so can you. And that inspiration from this person, from this woman, not necessarily a woman, but has more feminine qualities, that person will be such a blessing for you this month. Because when you're in this space of the swords, when you feel weighted down by this heavy metal, she'll say, look, I pulled the swords out of my back. You can too. So card number 5 is this month's lessons. So I'm really big on learning and lessons. And if you've watched my videos before, you know that I look at Earth as a school. And I look at us as the students. And every situation, every opportunity, everything that we experience is a chance to learn and grow. So what are your lessons this month of December? And we have the Page of Cups. I think this is a great card to end with because this card is reminding you, be playful. Be a kid. Be sensitive. Be emotional. Just let yourself be. And go with the flow. I'm so attracted to the waves here. Go with the flow. Let yourself be a flowing river. Let yourself just be and experience and explore. And let yourself have humor in this dark moment of the 10 of Swords where you really feel like you've hit rock bottom, like you're so overwhelmed by everything that's going on. Reach into that humorous inner child that you have, Gemini. Reach into that space and laugh at yourself. Oh, I'm so silly that I got myself in this situation. If I had only started that project months ago, I wouldn't be here right now. Approach it with humor. Approach it with laughter. And know that that is the most healing medicine for you this month. To be like a little kid. So do things that help get you in that frame of mind, that help get you in that space where you are giggling and laughing like a little kid. And learning that you have the choice to get into that space whenever you want, that will be your biggest lesson, Gemini. It's really about knowing that you have the choice this month, that you can be here or you can be here. And you can be in each one of those spaces no matter what's going on. But it's up to you to make that conscious decision. So this concludes your reading for December 2015. If you're interested in a personalized reading, join me on Etsy. You'll find the link in my description below.